The reason I mention it's compulsive is in response to the idea that he's intentionally doing it to distribute it widely. It makes more sense to me that he's doing this as like a compulsive act linked to his completely head when it comes to this section. I think this is why, for some people, this is the straw that broke the camel's back. You know, some of the orbiters now are kind of jumping off the ship, so to speak, and you know, I think it's just, yeah, insane, absolutely insane. And that's why you're seeing this big exodus now where you haven't before of stuff. Literally, it is literally the opposite of what he publicly preaches. Dude, all the shit about how important women are in his community, and he's gonna do the right thing and make sure they're treated well, and he's talking about one of his orbiters performing a sex act on him like that. It's like grotesque. It's totally grotesque shit. Okay, so we've gone over the initial videos, which I think brought a lot of attention to this and got people, you know, talking about this. Now we're moving on, of course, to the next point of this, which is following the PresidentSunday and Beckett video, Pxie then released a statement. Finally confirming what, you know, many had discussed already, that it was indeed Pxie that was in that video. And yeah, we'll go through the statement and see what you see what we think. So, on November 29th, the streamer Destiny non-consensually shared my nudes, making me a victim of revenge porn. I'll be suing him in federal court. Here's my story. Okay. And then there's a fundraising campaign, which has got a kind of, a very inopportune, isn't this that fucking, what is it, DGGL? Or something like that. That's the name of the email, I think. Very unfortunate, very unfortunate. Although maybe that's the point. Maybe that's the point, to show the hidden evil underneath. Also, if you're a leftist who has talked about this situation without so much as contacting me, you owe me an apology. So presumably this is aimed at PresidentSunday. On top of being a victim of revenge porn, I now have to deal with people lying about my dating life and further dehumanization of me. I know I shouldn't elaborate more, but I think one of the worst parts of what's happened is learning how so many people I genuinely thought where my friends are so easily are willing to betray me. I don't understand what I've done to make them want to treat me like this. Fucking hell. Yeah, this is... Jesus. Let's just get into the statement. Oh, okay. Wait for this to load, I guess. Here we go. I'm guessing that's a reference to Erin as well, right? See, it's like... This is the tricky part of it, is like... There are fair sides to many elements of this. In that Pxie is absolutely right to feel very bothered and upset by the way that there's messages of Erin talking about her, or Straighter A talking about her. And simultaneously, I can understand Straighter A getting annoyed with how Pxie's handling this, and then, you know, offloading to others. The unfortunate thing is, she was offloaded to PresidentSunday and Destiny, which is a terrible mistake, and she shouldn't have done that, you know? Like, the best thing that she should have done is just talk to someone completely outside of this. You know, that could be a great help, someone that's not involved at all. And then you can get your frustrations off in a way that you're not then screenshotted on and you look absolutely fucking horrendous, you know? Oh, hey, Pans, will you be donating to the legal fund to prevent future rapes? I'm not going to make any crass jokes at this time, but let's leave it at that, okay? You can see the cogs in Chud's brain turning as he carefully words things to be as gentle as possible in his view Daddy Destiny. What? What? Dude! That is an easy ban. That is an easy fucking ban. What are you on about? When have I done that at any point in the stream? True. Okay, well that's another easy ban. I'm pretty sure... Okay, yeah, easy ban. Can anyone point to me when I've done anything to make this... I mean, I've not really gotten to the meat and potatoes of this. But I think at every turn, I have meaningfully and strongly condemned Destiny's actions. I don't know how much stronger you want me to say it. Jesus. I feel like it's, you know, there's this meme that's perpetuated that I'm like, dude, let's not address it any further. It's obviously retarded. Anyone saying retarded stuff in chat is just going to get banned. So try your luck and see what happens. Good luck to you. Right. I'll be suing Stephen Kenneth Bonnell II. On November 29th, I learned that the streamer Destiny had non-consensually shared pornographic content of me online. My dignity, peace of mind, and hopes for the future were stripped away in a mere matter of seconds following the betrayal of someone I previously trusted. As I was saying earlier with this, there's another aspect of wickedness to this, in that it's Pxie. Someone who has built their career and platform online. And they've been quite successful. They've been on like the Whatever podcast and stuff like that. And they've done so on the basis that this hasn't happened. And now it has happened. And that's because Destiny has cruelly shared this video with someone, which has then exposed Pxie when it then gets leaked, more broadly. It's just despicable. It's utterly despicable. And it's why I feel that, it's why I feel like, as much as people want to shit on Pxie for this, I can understand criticisms of certain behavior and stuff like that. But I don't see it. I don't see it. I think that she has been unquestionably wronged in this situation. And although, as much as you want to cope about it's this other person publicly leaking it that caused this and stuff like that, no, the core issue here is Destiny sending this without consent, without permission, in a very dehumanizing fashion, I'm at least the third person he has done this to. I hope to be the last. I will not be commenting on the experience of the other women he has hurt, as it is not my place or story to tell. I will, however, share my story in the hopes of preventing this from occurring again. I have known Destiny for around 5 to 6 years now, and often find myself, do I do this? No, I think that I'll do the cherry stuff after this because there's more of a story there to kind of get into, right? But I will just throw this up whilst we're here because this apparently is someone that's known Destiny. What's that? Stasia? Is that the person's name? Dude, see, this is the problem. This is why I want it. Dude, you guys have gone absolutely insane with what you've been linking me. I set up a whole channel so I could hopefully have a place to get everything that I needed. And then someone went and put like every single thing that's happened in this drama for the last week, completely destroying its usability. Anyway, I'll throw this in here now because now someone else has spoken up and it does relate to what Pxie is saying here. So it's not chronological, but it does link in. So I'll just throw it up now. My official stance is as stuff came out, I learned that my trust was egregiously violated and that a lot of my private stuff info was in fact sent to multiple people without me being aware or having ever consented. I can't go into more detail than that, but this is something that I've been handling legally and off the internet. Jesus Christ, dude. I continue to stand by my original reaction I had the day stuff started to come out. I have nothing to do with him and never will again. I offer nothing but love and support to the other women who also were hurt by him. We stand in this together. Adding, by private, I mean intimate and sexually explicit material, lol, multiple. Now, I don't actually know this person. I'm not familiar with them. I've seen them a couple of times on Twitter floating about, and I presume they were some sort of Destiny fan or something like that. So I can't speak to their credibility broadly, but I'm just looking at this and I'm thinking, why would they make this up? Like, what possible reason would they have to tweet out about this and say this? It's like, this just seems to be, I mean, there's no evidence, there's no proof, they've not provided anything, but this seems credible. This seems credible to me. They were in the leaks, denied it until today. Queeman, of course, Queeman has done in-depth assessment of all of the leaks, so he probably knows better than anyone. So that's confirmed then that one of the people in one of these videos was them, is that right? What's so hard to believe when there's a pattern of behavior? See, that's a really fucking retarded comment because, people will throw away their principles of like looking at stuff because, they don't like the guy or something like that, right? Obviously, I understand the pattern of behavior. And the reason that I'm showing that, I mean, I'm literally saying that I believe this is probably true, but I'm just highlighting that I don't have anything beyond them saying it in a Twitter post to look at. And I'm explaining why I have got some believability in this in spite of that. Because the other thing, people are so, dude, people are so fucking retarded. It's unbelievable. Okay? Any person that is now coming forward and making a comment about it, they're kind of thrusting forward and attaching it. You do understand that even if someone is telling the truth, you should be very cautious about starting to lump everything in together and say things like, 4 people have come forward, 5 people have come forward, okay? Because that makes it easy to then attack that big bunch of allegations that's getting thrown, right? Whereas if you're a bit more particular and you look at it in detail and you kind of assess it on its own merits, I think you're going to have a far better chance of, like, you know, building a story that is more robust. So no, I'm not going to be bringing up every single person that's made like a comment about this. I'm not going to be like, oh, this person said this, that person said that, okay? I'm going to cautiously engage in what's coming forward. What if they're all credible? Well, I mean, credibility is obviously going to come down to a personal insight at the end of the day and what you think about it. You know, my personal view on what I think is more credible, I'd rather push forward than just push forward everything and be like, all these people are saying this, so all this must be true because it's a pattern of behavior. Exactly. You don't want the allegations to become a CDO that can be debunked. Yes, exactly my point. Yes, yes. So I am cautiously, like, believing of this. You know, that's my kind of stance on something like this. Well, there's other stuff that's being floated about where I'm like, okay, I don't know if I'd want to go with this because I don't know well enough of the circumstances. And there is a possible incentive to be dishonest, so I'm not going to touch that. But this, I'm like, I don't understand what reason the person would have to come forward like this. All they're doing is exposing themselves to risk and attention for no real discernible benefit. You can point out the legal case, but then they'd be better off saying nothing. But clearly they're wanting to make a comment because they want to be supportive of the other people that are coming forward. And they're putting themselves at some level of, like, risk and exposure to do so. Do you see what I mean? So, yeah, I'm like, okay, this is kind of believable to me. And it kind of stacks further weight to the idea that there is a kind of compulsive aspect to this, of this happening to various people. You know, anyway, I'll just throw that in there now as we're on the topic. Okay, so all I have is share my story in the hopes of preventing it again. I've known Destiny for around 5 to 6 years now and often find myself in heavy disagreement with him. Despite this, I do my best to see the best sides of all people, trying my hardest to spread positivity and create understanding where I can. It's corny, but I want to meet people where they are and focus on which ways we can build bridges together towards a better future for everyone. Some people call this a fault of mine. They claim I am naive and should be more careful. Those people are right. When I was 19, over 5 years ago, I was extremely sexually inexperienced and sheltered. Being severely terrified of leading someone on an essay, I thought I could trust Destiny, who I had multiple long conversations with regarding consent and boundaries. So this is another aspect to this story where Destiny will often present himself as being very knowledgeable about these topics and being very careful and cautious in engaging in these topics. But then he is sending a video without that person's consent, which completely undermines all of that fucking yapping that he does about it. It's like it's like a total fucking sham, you know? Like, yeah, this is repulsive. This behavior is completely and utterly repulsive to send this kind of material, you know? And it just completely undermines all the fucking stuff he yaps about it. Like, he has always banged on about, you know, how clean he is, how he's the you know, knows about consent and believes in affirmative consent and this sort of thing. Yeah, his moral credibility is, yeah, destroyed. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So yeah, I mean, it's you know, it's despicable. It's despicable and wicked what's happened here, for sure. So you can imagine my surprise when I discover he distributed pornographic content of me without my consent. Yes, you read that right. Stephen Kenneth Bennell II sent pornographic content of me to a random 19-year-old Discord kitten whom he had never met before, and then she published it to the whole world. Rest assured, despite never having met her, he at least spoke to her plenty of times on the phone. So, from what I understand, I don't know if this Rose... I thought it was someone else, that solo person, I think, hacked it or got access to it. Not hacked it, sorry. I know this has been a bit... Dude, I've stepped into that. That's a big point of contention. I know, the hacking thing. I get it. I've heard all the fucking discourse about that. Someone else gained access to the account. This solo person apparently gained access to the account, who's apparently another person, and they're the ones that leaked it. So, in any case, I don't know if this is any sort of meaningful distinction anyway. The basic point is, Destiny sent this to someone, another person then apparently got access to that account, and then leaked it onto the internet. Yes, that leak is obviously extremely egregious and abhorrent as well, but Destiny's actions in sending it in the first place exposed Pxie to that risk. So, even if we want to be critical of the other aspect of it, which we should be, there's still actions that Destiny's participated in that are abhorrent and worthy of, condemnation. And what is this here? Oh, this is the admission, I believe, isn't it? Okay, so yeah, this is the clear-cut admission. Oh, he also does apologise here. We were criticising the other comments for not apologising. So, at least he apologised here. There's that at least, okay? But this is actually just a straight admission of having done it, right? There shouldn't be no. I'm so sorry. There's literally zero excuse. I'd had phone convos and stuff with this person. They were fairly close to me. It's worthless to say it at this point, but I'm super sorry. There's literally no excuse. I won't say I'll confirm anything about them. If there's any particular action or thing I can do, just let me know. See, this is the thing that I don't really understand with all these people that are like, oh, he can't say sorry or take account for it in his response because he's got a court case going on. Well, doesn't this just torpedo that point? Doesn't this message torpedo that whole concept? Because there's already a message of him in black and white having admitted to doing it, plainly. Well, I guess you could really go fucking full lawyer mode and say, well, he's not specifically talking about what he's referring to and this kind of shit. But it's like, to me, it's there in black and white. So I don't really understand this narrative of how we can't possibly say about it in the response. I think that's stupid anyway, because people are trying to act like that's not just a self-preservation thing, which it absolutely is. Which is fine, but be honest about that. But then there's this which kind of goes against that as well anyway. So, it just seems like a stupid point. Anyway, moving on. Of course, this is what he says happened. I think it's just likely that he used her as a proxy to widely distribute this material while claiming deniability. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm sure that, some people are going to be frothing at the mouth at this take. Like, yeah, that's definitely what he did. I don't know if I agree with this. I think, to me, the stronger argument is of compulsive behavior. That is, And again, I'm not saying compulsive to try and downplay it. I know you're all on the hunt for sweepers. I've already said this is egregious, wicked, morally reprehensible, okay? Of course, that's my perspective on this. It's just to say that, bring the brooms out. Okay, right. I'm going to let you stay because I think you might be messing around. I'll give you that. But this is not a fucking sweep. It's to say that the reason I mention it's compulsive is in response to the idea that he's intentionally doing it to distribute it widely. It makes more sense to me that he's doing this as like a compulsive act linked to his completely fucked head when it comes to this sex shit. That's what I'm saying. So I'm just saying that I don't know if I would agree that it's likely that he's using it to widely distribute the material. I don't know if I agree with that perception. But anyway, nonetheless, moving on. I do not understand why Destiny would knowingly and willingly put me in a position where I would receive non-stop sexual abuse and harassment. If we believe him, he was trying to impress a barely legal teenager using my body and my privacy. Oh, God. Isn't the message really horrible as well? I saw that on Queeman's stream. Or somewhere. The message is like it's like disgusting. It's like, oh, I've got this young woman who didn't really know what she was doing. Do you want to see? or something like that. Has anyone got a link to that? It's like the entire tone of how it was sent was also, you know, grotesque. Like it's like dehumanizing. It's like your only worth is how bad it, how sexually inexperienced you are, but still gave a good blowjob. It was vile. Yes, it was vile. Exactly. Yeah, it's just, you know, and just the fact that it was in connection to sending a video of someone performing a sex act on you without their consent. It's just so fucked, dude. Totally fucked. And, you know, I think this is why, for some people, this is the straw that broke the camel's back. You know, I think this is just quite clearly and evidently, you know, some of the orbiters now are kind of jumping off the ship, so to speak. And, you know, I think it's just, yeah, insane. Absolutely insane. And that's why you're seeing this big exodus now where you haven't before of stuff. Sweep, sweep. Okay. Right. You're getting banned because you're just going to be annoying and misuse the word sweep all the time. You've got no idea what it means. You just use it without even understanding it. Very frustrating. I'm just pointing out that in spite of Destiny having quite strong narrative control and having these kind of orbiters that will often be defensive of various aspects of his bad behavior, now they're all leaving. And I think it's because of how insanely egregious this all is. That's what I'm trying to say, okay? Let's have a look at this. Oh, is this it? Is this the message? Fucking hell, dude. I don't think I've much BGS stuff recorded. It's fine. Oh, there was a girl once. She was young, so she was kind of new and wasn't that good. But she would just hold on to... Okay, I can't... Dude. It's fuck it, dude. Disgusting, like dehumanizing, you know. Like, literally it is literally the opposite of what he publicly preaches. You know? All the shit about how important women are in his community and he's gonna fucking do the right thing and make sure they're treated well, and he's fucking talking about one of his orbiters performing a sex act on him like that. It's like grotesque. It's totally fucking grotesque shit. Yeah, it's fucked. It's totally and utterly fucked. Anyway, we'll get to his response in a sec. Dude, there's still so much to go through and it's nearly 9 PM. I can stream for longer. I've got plenty of energy in me, but yeah. Anyway, continuing on. The betrayal, coupled with the hundreds of messages I've received filled with sexual harassment and abuse, have left me feeling hopeless and devoid of almost all happiness. The only thing that has kept me going is the hope that I can bring this man to justice and have him face legal consequences for his actions. For the past month, I've been speaking to lawyers about my situation and what to do, and have decided this is the best course of action. I'll be suing him for violating US Federal Code 15 UCC 6851, civil action related to the disclosure of intimate images, and for the publication of private facts in Florida. I'll be seeking emotional and punitive damages for his actions. So, I don't know where the legal standing is on this. And I think it's important to differentiate that even if there are no legal consequences for this, which there might not be if there's a good enough lawyer or the case doesn't stack up for some reason, maybe because it came into place after the alleged incident happened, whatever the case would be, can't speak to that. That's a lawyer's talk that would need to do that. I mean, this did happen. Destiny did do it, and he's admitted to doing it. So regardless of whatever legal consequences spin out of this, it is without question that he sent this video without Pxie's consent. Like that happened. There's no debate. There's no argument. It happened. Destiny is on the record in a message admitting to having done it. So, you know, no matter what happens, I know his response, he obfuscates and stuff. You can't get around it. This did happen. You know? I've been told a court case like this could potentially cost over tens of thousands of dollars. I'm terrified. I mean, this guy talks about potentially suing Hassan as if for fun. and Hassan actually has the resources to defend himself, I cannot imagine what he might try to do to me in this process. Sometimes I wonder if he does this as an intimidation tactic. I wonder if he is purposefully trying to put fear into my heart when he casually talks about throwing money into a lawsuit with a multimillionaire who can't fight back. As if it's an indirect flaunt warning over his capability of outspending me in whatever legal case I throw at him. At the request of my friends, I've been encouraged to link my give, send, go regarding this case here in hopes that we can raise enough for me to legally succeed. So, I don't necessarily have a problem with theory crafting or putting your own analysis onto this. I think the issue I have with this is it just creates holes that can be attacked. And I think that, you know, I think that having it nailed on with stuff that is substantial and conclusive is the far better way to put a statement together. Yes, okay, guys, I don't watch people live. I'm in the middle of fucking covering everything up until now. I'm not even sure if he's going to talk about it. If he is going to talk about it, I'll cover it when I get to it, okay? But I'm not watching him live. I don't even know what he's going to talk about or if he's going to talk about this. If you want to see what he's up to live, you have to go and watch him yourself. I'm in the middle of this at the moment. We will get to it at some point if there's anything relevant, okay? It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, people are going to go and watch. That's fine. Don't worry about the viewers. It's fine. It is what it is. Don't worry about it. Fine for letting me know. I'm not stream sniping. Guys, I've subbed a piece on it. That's it. If you want to go and watch him, go and watch him. I'm in the middle of doing my coverage of this, and I'm going to continue to do that, okay? Anyway, continuing on. Sometimes, I wonder if he does this in it. Okay. So there's a give, send, go. Whoever the next Joe Rogan of the left is, cannot be someone that crosses sexual boundaries, violates consent, and puts women's well-being and safety at risk. It cannot be someone who puts women in positions where they'll be sexually abused and harassed. It concerns me that Destiny has been interviewing potential DNC chair candidates, such as Marianne Williamson or Martin O'Malley, who have no idea of what he's done. As time passes and he tries to position himself to have interviews with increasingly powerful figures such as Zelensky, I can't help be filled with fear that Destiny might continue to succeed despite facing no repercussions for his actions. If the Democratic Party wishes to succeed in the future, it cannot be a party that accepts the sexual exploitation of women. It cannot be a party that allows men like Destiny to break into the mainstream, for allowing him access to such spaces would be a direct endorsement of his behavior. Yeah, I just prefer sticking to the facts. I think the more that you give these kind of perspectives, I think the more that you give room for it to be responded to in a way that can damage your statement. You're like, I don't view it this way myself. I don't think that this is coming off this way for me, but you can certainly frame it if you wanted to as malicious. Like, this is a malicious claim. You're trying to destroy Destiny because he's getting success now. You know, I think that stuff like this, I'm not sure who advised Pxie in this. I do think this statement was put out quite quickly with what was on hand. I would guess. I'm not sure, but I would guess. But yeah, I think stuff like this you could probably safely leave out and just stick to the facts, and that'll be fine. I've been told that the payout might not be worth the harassment and attention I'll receive. In an ideal world, I would do this privately, but I've been told there is no realistic way the court will grant me anonymity. This means my only option is public. I've been told by a variety of people not to go public. I've been told by some people that Stephen really does feel sorry, but I'm not inclined to believe them, especially taking into consideration his actions regarding me. Regardless, what Destiny did is unacceptable, and I believe he will do this again unless he faces justice. Let me be clear, Destiny has violated federal law and his transgressions against me. He has violated my consent and is directly responsible for the sexual abuse I've received. I'm terrified. Evidence log. And this is obviously stuff I'm guessing we've seen already. So we've seen that one. And then she includes her own comments here. It's more complicated. Oh, I don't think I've. What's this one? I don't think I've seen this one yet. It's more complicated than that. I feel like there's no justice for what's been done. I feel like people for the rest of my life are going to try and send it to my family or workplace wherever I go. I feel extremely violated with how so many people saw me non-consensually in a vulnerable position. I feel like people are always going to use this as proof that I slept my way into whatever achievement I garner. I feel like it's evidence that everything will be better with me gone. I think the number of people who know or even keep up with it enough to go after you on this is probably almost zero. I think people hate others involved. Me, Lauren, Nick, lol. Way, way, way more, and it overshadows everything a lot more. I mean, this... the problem is like, it's not necessarily untrue that you could, you know, you could move past this and then eventually it would die down and no one would fucking talk about this anymore. But it just feels like wrong coming from Destiny, because it's like, well, you're obviously implicated in this, so that would benefit you greatly if this, you know, never ended up becoming a matter of like public discourse. It's like coming from the wrong person. Yeah, exactly. Law experts in chat. Yeah, I don't know the law well enough to say one way or another, unfortunately. Women want it overshadows everything a lot more. As for any achievements or anything like that, majority of the work and stuff you've done have been completely independent from me anyway. So the only people who would say anything like that are people who would have said shit like that anyway and aren't worth the time. Okay. And then obviously, oh wait, oh, we've seen the bill thing already. Okay. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I do have some issues with some of this stuff here. It's more pragmatic, I think, than anything else. It just creates gaps and holes that can then potentially be attacked. I'm guessing it's probably a product of desperately getting this out, what with further attention being paid to this.